Hey, this is Darren from Sacred Mother Tongue, and I'd like to shout out to GetYourRockOut UK. Rock it on.
Hi everyone, this is Matt Richards of GetYourRockOut.co.uk, and currently with Darren, the vocalist of Sacred Mother Tongue. Good to see you again, Darren.
Yeah, good to see you again. It's been a couple of months since we last met.
Now, first things first, we have to talk about the hair. What's happened?
Do we have to talk about the hair? Yeah, I've cut my hair. It's not that big a deal.
Why have you cut your hair?
I don't know. I just think it was about time for a change. I've cut my hair several times throughout, my life. I've had long hair since I was sort of 13, so every now and then, every few years, it comes off. And this was the time. So.
You just released a video for a new music video. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's for the song "The Light Will Shine," which is arguably the title track from the album, I suppose. I mean, obviously the album's called Out of the Darkness, but if you remember, our EP was called The Light Shines. It's a double-headed sort of thing. Yeah, we didn't come up with the idea, the video director did, and he thought it would be cool to have me buried alive. And yeah, we went with it. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was a good shoot.
How long did it take to shoot?
Just a couple of days. It was quite smooth, really. We were lucky in the sense that we had a location that was really cool to use, and the video director sorted out props and costumes and all the rest of it. We were unlucky in the fact it was pissing down with rain, and it was absolutely freezing out there. But yeah, it was good. It was a good experience. Enjoyed it.
You got any more music videos planned?
Yeah, we're working on single 2 at the minute now, because obviously that being the first single from the album, it's hopefully going to make the right impact, and then by the time the album's out and doing some copies, we've got to come back with another one. So we are already talking about what single number 2 is. It's under wraps at the minute, but yeah, it's already underway.
How do you decide which songs are going to be singles?
Yeah. I don't know, it's difficult because sometimes you pick your favourite, but other times you kind of have to go on the advice of others. The label influences quite a lot of what song choice we use, because they look at a different thing to what we look at. We look at which one is good to perform live, which one we enjoy doing, which one we're most proud of from a writing point of view, or whatever, or which one we just think has the best groove to it or something. Whereas the label can look at viability of it, commercial viability. They can see which one is the most spongy. In other words, which one you're going to listen to and it's going to grab your attention quickest. So in this particular instance, it was quite difficult because we're really proud of a lot of the songs, but A Light Will Shine's kept jumping out. However, we kept getting the same complaint from the label. They think it was a great song, but they didn't know if it had a really fast impact because it was a bit elongated. It was an album version basically, so they asked me to do an edit of the same song for a single, so that it had all the more commercial grabbable parts in it, and yeah, they picked that one. Obviously, when asked what we think of doing that song, we don't really care because we're proud of all of them. So.
Are you quite protective of the songs? Were you happy to do an edit?
Yes, I was happy to do an edit for a single, but I wasn't happy to change the song for the album, if you know what I mean. I was quite happy to say, yes, this is the single edition, no problem. But if it comes to the point where they're like, we think you should change the song, we think you should do that, do something else with it, that never really works with us, because we've written the song in a particular way to suit us, in the way that we think it should sound. We don't take any influence on writing. So the finished product on the album is, although it's a very slightly different version to what's on the single and the video, it's still the same song. It's just it's cut down slightly.
This album is, some of your new music is quite a lot different to your first album. How have you gone about deciding what to change and what to keep?
We didn't really decide. It's a tricky one to kind of describe. The way that I've best explained it, I think, to in these sorts of interviews, is that we had a long period between our first album, The Ruin of Man, and this one, and it wasn't because we did nothing, although admittedly we didn't do anything for quite a while of that, through various reasons. But I think that period allowed us to relax as writers, and it allowed us to write an album on our own terms and in our own time. We didn't think, right, we're riding the Ruin of Man, we need to get another album out quickly. So I think if we'd have done that, we probably would have written The Ruin of Man Mark II, which you know, probably would have been okay, but it wouldn't have been the album that we've come out with Without Your Darkness. So that's my phone. Yeah, I think that period of relaxing and writing in a more relaxed environment and not on any particular timescale, it allowed us to just do what we wanted to do. So the end result really being is that everything we wrote came from the heart, and it didn't, you know, it wasn't swayed by commercial value or, you know, is it too metal, is it not metal enough, is it too cheesy. There was none of that sort of crap that went on with the writing of this album. We literally picked riffs, licks and melodies and hooks that we liked, that sounded good. We didn't throw anything out for fear of, you know, what are people going to think of this. And it's, you know, I'm really proud of the end result. I think that particular time scale and relaxed sort of point of view from writing as what's made it sound the way it does. So personally, I'm happy with it the way it's worked. I think the band are the same, you know. So I think, digressing slightly, but I think going back to my point, it wasn't an intentional thing. It was just something that happened over the course of time, and you know, within that relaxed period, we've matured as writers, and we didn't feel pressure to be in a certain niche or to do anything particularly, you know, outstanding. And as a result of that, I think we've done our most outstanding work yet.
How come you decided to stop using screaming vocals?
Kind of the same reason, really. I didn't really decide to until the point that Andy had written a bunch of songs for the record, and I was finding quite a lot of inspiration in it. And whereas before I might have used the screams to add, you know, a brutal angle or to add extra metal or something to the, you know, to our sound. I got to the point, sort of 6-7 songs in, where I thought, I haven't done any screaming yet, but the melodies were still flooding in. I was still getting lots of, you know, rock vocal melodies and lots of hooks, and I just seemed to be bursting with ideas. And it was only at that point where I, you know, the realisation that actually I'm over half of the album in and I haven't written any scream parts, that I then discussed it with the lads and said, what do you think? You know, should we chuck a bit in there or not? And they said, you just do what you want to do. So, based on that, I just carried on doing what I did. And I think, again, I don't even think then I thought to myself, I'm not going to scream. I think what I thought was, okay, I'm writing a song, I'm going to do that bit there, I'm going to write that melody there, and if I'd run out of space and I needed a section, I might have screamed over it, but I'd never run out of any space. So, you know, I managed to find things that I was happy with, that I thought lended themselves better to the songs than you know, pointless screaming. Sorry about this.
Oh, it's going mad.
I think I've got to do sound check.
Okay, well, we're almost out of time anyway, so that's absolutely perfect. Thank you very, very much.